everyone. Welcome to another evening of frank conversations here on Hard Copy. I'm Maokbe Ogun. My guest tonight is the recently appointed Director Defense Information, Major General John Enenche. He speaks to me on what he perceives will be his immediate assignment. He also shares his view on the current face-off between a local group, Global Peace and Rescue Initiative, GOPRI, and Amnesty International. The group, GOPRI, has asked Amnesty International to leave Nigeria, threatening to continue to occupy the premises of Amnesty in Abuja if they do not move. In one of its latest reports, Amnesty International had accused the Nigerian military of mass killings and gross human rights abuses in its operations in the northeast and its role in quelling IPOB protests in the southeast. The military has vehemently denied this, but has also set up a probe panel to look into the allegations. The conversation promises to be interesting. Just stay with us. Major General John Enenche, you're welcome to Hard Copy.
Thank you.
Now, what do you see as your immediate duty, having taken up this position?
The moment I was notified of my appointment as the defense spokesman, I took a cursory look at what was being done in the directorate regarding my schedule of duties. And I discovered that my immediate focus should be on packaging defense-related activities in a strategic way to present it to the public. Because what we had in the past were tactical and operational information. And that could only make meaning locally. But internationally, we needed to improve on our information dissemination. So that is my immediate focus.
So why is that important?
Very, very important. Because a lot of focus from us, from international bodies and organizations. And if they don't get the outlook of our information from the strategic perspective, it will make little meaning to them to be able to add value in their various causes towards what we are trying to achieve, and that is peace in Nigeria.
Well, you bear the burden of also, disseminating information to Nigerians.
Yeah.
Do you worry about whether or not they'll believe you?
Yes, it's a natural thing to worry if they don't believe you. And it is left for us to present it to them in such a way that they will believe us, based on facts.
I ask this because you know that, there's usually a doubt of government, spokespersons. They believe that, they're just there to make government look good. It's just always, I think generally PROs tend to suffer that kind of fate. But, how do you think, that you'll be transparent in such a manner that people will be able to say that what you're actually disseminating is something I will take home as the truth?
Yes, what I will do is to base my information on facts and figures, not on hearsays. And that is what, in principle, we have been doing. But like you said earlier on, it's difficult for somebody to believe you if they are not there. But it's now left for me as a spokesman to be able to package it, articulate it, like I said, with evidences. And that is what I will definitely do.
Well, the military has been doing quite a bit of that. We've seen a lot of the engagements that the Nigerian armed forces have been, taking on in recent times. Most clearly, the Boko Haram insurgency that has been fought, that is still being fought. We see that the military is engaging the civilian populace increasingly by trying to disseminate information on a weekly basis. However, that seems to be on the down low somewhat now. Are we beginning to wrap up the war against insurgency?
If I want to understand you clear, insurgency, for me, with my background from the National Defense College, as a strategist and an analyst, there is no more insurgency in this country. And I'm sure you'll be surprised for me to say so. Mm-hmm. What we had, even as it were, of course, we didn't package it that way, was terrogency. And what do I mean by terrogency? Terrorism and insurgency put together. If you separate them, terrorism is to instill fear into you, to get the people to believe in ideologies, threats, insurgency, carve out a territory for yourself and declare sovereignty. As it were before 13th of July 2015, where the Boko Haram group, how we call them, terrorists, they now added insurgency to it, carved out territories for themselves, about 15 local governments. As at today, not an inch of Nigeria that you will find their flags or their flag being hosted. And that is to say, insurgency is no more. They don't have control. So let's remove insurgency. Terrorism, yes, little here and there. And that is not unconnected with, trying to show relevance that they are still there.
That's the difference.
That's the difference
between terrorism and insurgency.
Yes.
So right now, what we have on our hands is
terrorism. It's terrorism.
So the battle against insurgency is nearly over. Are you saying that there's no inch? I mean, I heard you say that. No inch of Nigerian soil is in control of the terrorists.
Completely, no inch.
Because, we're told that Sambisa Forest, they were still trying to reclaim in full Sambisa Forest, and that when Camp Zero was claimed, it was just a small portion of Sambisa Forest, even though, yes, that was the headquarters, but it's possible that they could have relocated to another place within Sambisa.
It is not true. Like you said, they say. Now, you're telling me that there used to be briefings from the Northeast and you're not seeing that again. That is a source. But the source that you were told, I'm not too sure if it is an authentic source. And of course, you and me will agree that the social media, anybody can sit down anywhere and do anything and tell all manner of stories and want people to believe. It is not true that an inch. Yes, I can tell you that they launch their operations or whatever they are doing, terrorizing people now from outside the soil of this country. And that's what happens.
The reason I say so,
yes.
You recall that the Bring Back Our Girls movement, they were taken on a tour. Yeah. We were invited on that tour. We were shown the expanse of Sambisa Forest. Yeah. And, where Camp Zero was, in the expanse of Sambisa Forest. And they still told us, they still showed some of the people on the ground who were suspected to be terrorists. Yes. So it would seem that, yes, Sambisa, I think that tour was for us to appreciate how large Sambisa Forest was, and that, to show also Camp Zero that was also taken, and the search for the missing Chibok girls. Are you saying that, we cannot say that if the terrorists are still within Sambisa, we can say that some portion of Sambisa is perhaps still under their control?
There is no single inch, and I tell you, based on the confirmed information that I have and the resources that we have to ensure that. We have the Air Force working with the Army that conducts intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. We have our foot patrols that patrol the whole of that area. And as I'm talking to you, not a single inch of Sambisa Forest is in the hands of the Boko Haram group again. In addition to that, if they are still there, how will the Nigerian Army be going there to conduct a live range exercise commencing next week? It wouldn't have been possible. So that one alone should go to tell the Nigerian public and the whole world that anything Boko Haram active activities is dead in Sambisa Forest.